Okay, Rabbi Sai. I feel bad to be on this podium over here. This is like already. All right, let's finish off, Rabbi Sai. We got to finish off Malaban, Rabbi Sai. We got to finish off Malaban. So there's a couple more shilas that I want to get to. Zachari, you can come inside and join us. It'll be kavaldik. Two shilas mainly that I want to get to that we didn't discuss until now. First of all, the Olam were asking, and I even received a couple of emails about this exact shaila based on last time's shir, which was, if you remember, we discussed the shaila of hanging up things on Shabbos, laundry and wet clothing and coats and zachen. We basically came up with a sikkum that if it's something that's not normally washed in a washing machine, there is no problem. There's no chashash of maris ayin that someone's going to assume that you washed it on Shabbos just because you're hanging it up, right, Tuli? The second thing is, if it's totally dry, then it's mutter. And the third thing is that if it's hanging up in a place, or you are hanging it, Simcha, in a place that is not the normal place to hang wet laundry to dry, then it's mutter. Right? Slouching over a table or a chair, the back of the chair, something like that generally is not going to be a problem because we don't look at that as, oh, wow, he just did a wash and now he's going to go and cause it to dry. So that is that. Now, the Olam were asking the following shayla. I'm not sure who it was. I can't remember who asked the shayla. But the Olam were asking as follows. And they were asking what happens if, for example, two things. Question number one, we learned that on Erev Shabbos you're allowed to hang things up. Right? You're allowed to take a hanger and hang up wet shirts or whatever it may be on Erev Shabbos to let them to dry. We're not getting involved in muktzah. We know that anything that's wet when Shabbos comes in, if we know that it's going to remain wet, especially in this weather, is going to remain muktzah, right, Rav? The ganze Shabbos, right? Some achrikas Reb Shimon, Reb Yehuda in the Gemara in Shabbos, Migodes Ketzoy, whatever, we bring it down in our Chaim, some Shin Yud, that talks about the shilas of muktzah, the halacha the Ma'isa Asha, anything that's wet when Shabbos comes in, if we know it's going to remain wet the ganze Shabbos, remains muktzah the ganze Shabbos also. If you know Vade Zuk the Minchas Yitzchak in Chelik Yud, that if you know that it's going to become dry during Shabbos, then you are allowed to move it because it won't be muktzah because you had dust that it will become dry on Shabbos, right? Simcha, you with me? Excuse me. So, what happens? The Olam are asking two things. Number one, what happens if a person hangs up something on Erev Shabbos? Does he have a chiyuv to take it off when Shabbos comes in? Meaning, Aaron, you ready for this? Is the Issa the hanging up? And Mimele, if I hang it up on Friday morning, it's hung up already, I didn't do the Issa. Or is the Issa Kozman, it is hanging up? Mimela, if it's hanging up, even from before Shabbos, but when Shabbos comes in, it's still hanging up, I got to take it down because there's a chashash that maybe someone's going to think I did laundry. Zacharia, you with me? You hear the Chakira? Raf, you hear the Chakira? Yeah, it's a good Chakira. Right? Nafkamina, if you hang it up on Shabbos. That would be the Nafkamina of the Chakira. Ben, are you with me? You got it? Shmuel, I know it's early in the morning, just, yeah? If you say the Issa is the hanging up, and you did it on Shabbos, which was Issa, you don't have to remove it. Why not? I did the Issa already. Finish, it's over. But if you say the Issa is what? Kol Zman, it's hanging up. So if you did it on Shabbos, you have a chiyuv to remove it. By the way, this shaila comes up many, many times. Chazon Ish. The Chazon Ish discusses the shaila, what happens if a person on Shabbos does something on the hot plate that he shouldn't be doing. Right? Whatever it is, he put something on the hot plate that he shouldn't have put there. Right? It was also to put it back on, he didn't put it back on, he did chazorah, did shehiyah, whatever. The Chazon Ish is the whole shayla whether a person has a chiyuv to remove it. Because kol zman it's on you being over on the issa of either shehiyah or whatever you may have done. You understand what I'm saying? You do with me? So here the shayla is like this. Yeah? If you did on Shabbos Kodesh, you hang it up. Number one, do you have to remove it? And number two, do you have to remove anything that was pre-hanging when Shabbos came in? Dubi, you got it? Good shaila. Okay. So the basic idea is like this. There is a Rashba. There's a Rashba in Tshuvas, in Chelik Zayin Siman Tzadi Aleph. If you look it up, it's a long tshuva, but it's kedai probably one day in your life to go through this. If you want to relax over a schnitzel, one lunchtime, pull out the Rashba, Moyu Dik tshuva this one, okay? You look it up, Chelik Zayin Siman Tzadi Aleph, you'll have a geschmack at lunchtime, it's Moyu Dik. And the Maisa like this. He wants to tie like this. That as long as the laundry is hanging up, there's a chashash that someone's going to assume that you washed on Shabbos. However, if you did it before Shabbos, Chazal will not go in such a case. In other words, if you hang up something before Shabbos comes in, and now when Shabbos comes in, it's hanging up, Zuk Darash, but there's no chashash anymore, because I didn't do a meiser on Shabbos. Masha'en came when you did it on Shabbos of the Rashba. So Kol Zman, it's going to be hanging since you did the Meiser on Shabbos. Yeah, Ben? But maybe you have to remove it. As I pass in the Rashba, the Tiferes Yisrael, by the way, also in the Mishnayos and others held this way as well. The Kaf HaChaim, the Ben Ish Chai, both of them write clearly that if you're over and you hang up something on Shabbos Kodesh, you do not have to remove it. Why? The Ben Ish Chai and the Kaf HaChaim, that the Gzeira here is to hang it up, Raf. That's the Gzeira. Once I did the Gzeira, once it was over, good, so I was over. It wouldn't help to fix it up. There's a shaila, by the way, the Ben Ish Chai asks this kasha also. What happens if a person does boira on Shabbos? Chas v'shalom. Person does boira on Shabbos. He takes a cucumber out of the salad. Should he put it back? I'll just put it back. I'll just put it back. If he eats it, then maybe he'll be okay, because then it's miyad biyad oichem u'toik psoiles. But let's say he doesn't like cucumbers, he won't eat it, he's allergic to it, whatever it may be, can't eat it, right? So does it help to put it back? There is a shaila. There's a mashmois in the Shatzin. It's not the Olam learned in you test when the Olam learned boira, but there's a mashmois in the Shatzin that it could be that you're masaking it by putting it back into the mixture because you've made it no longer separated. Yudel, are you with me? Good? Okay. Moedik. So it comes out lemaisa like this. There's also a gavaldige tshuva in the Heilige Bel Zadayin. Rabbi Shammai Gross in Shevet Kahasi, look this one up, where he brings down that avada and avada, you have to remove it. If you hang up something on Shabbos, you must remove it immediately, because if the person sees that you put it there, then he may assume that you washed it, and therefore you got to remove it as soon as you can. Halacha lemaisa, according to most poskim, that you don't have to remove it, but of course, and it was done before Shabbos, that for sure you don't have to remove when Shabbos comes in. Okay? That's just the shaylas that the Olim were asking. Aaron Dov, good? Let's go weiter. One last shayla that we have to deal with the Malabin. Maybe tomorrow we'll do the last shayla in Malabin, which will be the sugi of folding things. Very negeya. If you have a talit, if you have a talis, and you want to fold the talis on Shabbos, or for example, your pants, when you want to hang them up the night so they don't get creased the next morning, you want to hang them on their creases. You know what I'm talking about? Anybody does this? Dolim does this, right? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right? Hang on, I mean not on Shabbos, obviously, no, I've had an ish, but think theoretically on a Wednesday, right? So the question is, are you allowed to do that? Folding a talis, very big shaila. Folding a tablecloth. All of these shailas come into the shaila of Malav, and we'll talk about it maybe tomorrow a little bit. But I also want to mention one last thing for today, and that is the sugya of wearing contact lenses. What is the shaykhus with wearing... Anybody here wear contact lenses?
Yes.
Oh, nice. That's it? That's a man. Okay, very good. Doesn't look like it. Hard or soft? Hard or soft?
Soft.
They have hard ones in America?
No,
You never heard of that before? You're from England, for sure. Or maybe they don't do it anymore. No such thing?
No, they still do.
I'm showing my age. They don't do it anymore?
What is it, cardboard?
I used to wear both. I used to wear hard, and then I changed to soft, and then I got lazy. But hard lenses were mamish pieces of. They were hard pieces. Mamish, you can't like fold them or anything. They were hard lenses. Okay. So if I say, what is the shaykhus for wearing contact lenses on Shabbos and Malabin? Anybody can tell me? Everybody knows, no? Put them what? Put them in the solution. Ma'abid, very good. Tanning, right? Leather. What?
No, you might be wrong. That's what they put it in.
No, it's unbelievable, by the way. Some people learn Lamates Malach is like, this is not Negea to us, right? It's very Negea, right? Of course it is. Avada. People say we don't sew on Shabbos, right? Like, what are we learning the halacha of oirig and sewing on Shabbos, right? We don't sew. What was the you saw somebody ever sewing on Shabbos? You saw someone during the week? Oh, you did actually. Where is he? There he is. Should we make an advert? We can make it, let the Olam know. I know, they're not going to send it from America to here. You never know. It's our professional job. That's true. You're right.
Or maybe just...
You saw anybody sew on Shabbos? You know sewing is very negea? I'll tell you how it's negea, just agav, by the way. Sometimes you have in your suit, right, or in a tablecloth, this can happen as well. It gets caught, and when it gets caught, it gets pulled, so you just pull it out to make it look normal. It's a daraisa chav skila for that, that's all. Simple action like that. It's a daraisa machal Shabbos. So the Heilige Chofetz Chaim in Akdama Techele Gimel. If you're not a boki in Hilchos Shabbos, you'll be over on Shabbos 764 times. He doesn't write that, but that's what it is. We made the cheshbon one time. No, we made the cheshbon one time. We made the cheshbon. If you don't know Hilchos Shabbos, that's how many times you were probably over on Hilchos Shabbos. D'oraisa and D'Rabbanans doesn't make a difference, right? Because the D'Rabbanan Yudel is also hard, right? Okay?
What about the back of your suit? You only buy new suit.
No, that's Makibah Patish over on that also. You mean to rip the... No, that's Avada. Makibah Patish, it's a D'oraisa, everyone knows. This is beautiful. Oh, by the way, Ben is going to get a new sefer. Ben's buying a new sefer soon, by the way, soon. Only should look at it. It's a beautiful sefer, although we don't judge a book by its cover, but it's that's right. What does it say? The title of the sefer is not advert, because it's not my sefer. When my Shabbos sefer comes out, we'll give advertising. Don't worry. Shmuel, don't worry. This is a beautiful sefer. It's called the 39 things that you are allowed to do on Shabbos. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that gavaldik? 39 things you're allowed to do on Shabbos. Everyone concentrates on the negative, concentrates on the positive. Anyway, Rabbi said we have to move on. Contact lenses on Shabbos. What's the problem? So let's discuss like this. Hard lenses do not absorb liquid. Okay? Hard lenses, Rabbi say. Listen carefully because this is something you're not going to hear very often. Hard contact lenses do not absorb liquid. Soft contact lenses can absorb somewhere between 38% to 70% liquid. How do I know that? Because I made a phone call to one of the, it's actually called Boots Opticians in England. And I called up Boots and I said I'd like to speak to a technician. Nobody normally calls them to speak to a technician. So I spoke to the technician and I started to ask the lady all the different sugyas about this, and she was very excited. I said, normally when I call up people, they don't want to answer me. When I call up Nescafe, they weren't excited to tell me about how they make their coffee. You were very excited to tell me how the contact lenses are made. She said, you don't understand, I went to university, I studied this. Nobody has ever asked me everything I've studied. Finally, somebody is asking me something that I've studied instead of just putting, anyway. So, between 38 and 70% liquid is absorbed. If that's the case, Rabbi Isai, when you take a contact lens and you put it into the solution on Shabbos Kodesh, why is it different to putting a beged, a garment, which also absorbed into a liquid? We know, the Gemara tells us in Zvachim and Paskan Halach and Shulchan Aruch very clearly that the halach is shviyase zehu kibusai. We've learned that you cannot make a beged, a garment, a material wet on Shabbos, even Zukti Rishalmi, as I pass in Shulchan Aruch, with your saliva. You can't make, if you have a stain on your suit or on your shirt, on your pant, whatever it may be, you can't take the liquid of your saliva or of the force of the water. You can't make it. It's a d'oraisa, shviyase zehu kibusai, that we know. So the question is, why are they by contact lenses if they're absorbent, and they do absorb between 38% and 70% of liquid? Why is it not the same thing? It should at least be by leather, like we know by leather is also we spoke about it, by leather shoes, is the same thing over there in that case. So Lamaisa, in one of the Sfarim HaKadoshim, he brings down from Rav Elyashiv, Rav Vosna, and Rav Nissen Karelet Zatzal, that all three Gedolim held that it is also to put your contact lenses into the disinfectant solution. By the way, the purpose of putting it into solution is for three reasons. Reason number one is to keep it soft, that's easy. Reason number two is to remove the protein that may be on there that clouds up the eye, that is now on your contact lens. And reason number three is because there are very many germs that may be on the lens, which again, that could cause infection or whatever it may be. So there are three reasons why you dip it into the solution. Again, Rav Elyashiv, Rav Nissen Karelet, and Rav Vosna Zatzal all held that it will be also because it absorbs, and you're doing malabin because the solution gets in like soap into the actual lens and takes out the garbage, takes out the germs. Now, there are many that say that you cannot see the dirt. And if you cannot see the dirt, how do you say malaban on something that be'etzem is 100% clean? They asked once from Chaim Kanievsky Tzatzal, is there an issa, which we're not going into at this moment of time, of water filtering? I'm not talking about the water filter we have in yeshiva, because that one is going to be Boyle Kula Yalma, right? Which we'll get to at a different time maybe. I'm talking about they have nowadays, I don't know, they used to have, when I was in yeshiva, they used to have Brita water filters.
Yeah.
Okay, people still do that. I don't know, in yeshiva, I remember everyone with those Brita water jugs.
Yeah, I remember.
The water looks clean, and it comes out clean. I don't know what it takes out of there. So I asked Reb Chaim Kanievsky, is that boira? Forget about the shine of filters and whatever. Is that boira to take whatever? He said, you don't see it. How do you have boira in something you don't see? So the shine over here is the dirt in the contact lens you don't see. And if you don't see it, how can it be also in this case? So Lamaisa, I spoke to Rabbi Wiener from the Badat She'iris, and he said to me that he asked some Gedolim also And they held that it was mutter. And then I spoke myself also to Rabbi Falk and Rabbi Zion Orbach, and they also tainted that since nowadays most of it is also, generally you're putting it in saline solution for sure would be okay, but if you're putting it into the disinfectant solution, the other one, that works harder, and therefore they said there is definitely those that held not that way, but there's a mokum to say that since you don't see the germs, you don't see the dirt, then that would not be called malaban in that case. The one thing, by the way, I mentioned before that everyone malach and you were like, what? And that is ma'abed, that if your contact lenses stay outside your eye or the solution for a number of minutes, if you lose it, sometimes it happens, you take it out, it drops, and you're like looking for it, and by the time you find it, it's 10 minutes later, it's rock hard, and you're putting it into the solution to become soft, according to many poskim, Rafakas the Chuvin, Chelik Beis and Machzor, that it could be nisa doraisa of ma'abed, because you're actually preserving that which became hard, and you're allowing it to become usable. So be careful that do not leave it out your eye or the solution for too long. Tomorrow, we'll try to go through the sugya of folding things on Shabbos Kodesh, how it applies to Malaban, which we'll get to tomorrow, and we'll finish up the sugya Malaban. Have a wonderful day.